Hi everyone, it's Killshot from the 999 Dead, and this is The Walking Dead Negan Must Kill Alpha. That is the bigger picture we're going to talk about. We got a lot of bullet points. Of course, we're going to talk about the brand new teaser that's out there, the good and the bad, who that potentially could be, turning around, taking a look. But before we get into that, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for being here on this Sunday afternoon. It kind of didn't do the earlier stream today, but this kind of has a feel like a countdown video, like right before we're getting ready to watch an episode. So I see many of you are here. Tommy is probably somewhere running around the streets of Philadelphia having a cheesesteak and some type of brew, because you guys probably just saw the Eagles escaped the Chicago Bears, so still alive. And to everybody else, right, I see you guys. What's up, everybody? What's up? Some people are like, what's football? We're here to talk about The Walking Dead. We're going to kind of delve into it a little bit. So this stream tonight is going to have probably two different themes. The bigger arcing theme that Negan has to he has to kind of bail himself out a little bit. I don't know if redeem is the right word. We've been using the word redeem for a long time, but I think he's going to right the ship a little bit, and it's just going to get really dark really fast. So before we get too far into it, and you guys know that Super chats are up, so I'm going to jump around. You guys have been to some of the streams, so anybody super chatting, we are going to address those comments. I'm going to try to get to a lot of your thoughts, and I want to start out just by asking you this question. So I want you to put your thinking caps on. Are the Whispers losing their scare factor by the amount of teasers, the amount of pictures, the amount of promos? Like, when I first saw the Whispers, I thought, whoa, this is creepy. But is it the layoff? Or do you think that it's just we're getting a little bit more desensitized to it? I know the Whispers here are going to say no. I mean, for me, I'm not feeling as bad as I was earlier. I'm not feeling as kind of creeped out. Now, it only takes a couple deaths. It only takes a couple people put on pikes. Hippo, see, that I can get behind. We haven't seen anything yet. I think the fair will drum it up a little bit. You know, a couple of the tragic deaths will get us right back into it. I'm not going to say it's totally lost its appeal. All I'm saying is that as they start to give us, you know, they gave us the second half teaser, then they gave us the picture of Beta, and then we've got, you know, this thing. I guess the good part about this teaser today is it's probably somebody on the inside. Otherwise, I don't think we get that look. So I'm just going to put it out there. We have heard slight spoiler information. I'm not going to say whether this is confirmed or not confirmed. It's just out there. It's just kind of strong rumor at this point that Daryl would get a Whisper suit and Daryl would sneak in. So do you guys think that is this? Do you think that this teaser is Daryl kind of turning around, you know, giving the nod of approval to everybody, like, hey, I'm on my way in? Daryl's got a creepy walk. And let me jump over to Super Chat. We got Valar Super Chatting. Says, hello, 999 Army. Kill Steph, Emmy, Kel, Sweet Tommy, sponsors, Patreons, and all Super Chatters. Thank you so much, Valar. Appreciate that. Some people are saying yes. Some people are saying could be. I haven't really zoomed in to see the eyes. But Jeffrey Dean is he's a bigger boy. Could it be Negan? I think it might be a little too early for a Negan standoff, but it's certainly somebody that we know. So either way we look at it, it's like, person's not tall enough to be this person. They're a little thinner. Yeah, I didn't zoom into the arm. So I did watch it a couple times. I was kind of more focused on the face. Okay, let me transition just a little bit because we'll be talking about this all week. It's like any news that comes out with the teaser, The Walking Dead, even like a 20-second clip, it's a big deal. There was an article out earlier this week, if you guys follow comicbook.com, and it did say The Walking Dead fans should be worried about Daryl. I don't worry about Daryl. Am I being naive? Should I worry about Daryl? I worry about Michonne. I'm certainly worried about Rick. Worried about Maggie. But do we take Daryl for granted? I mean, there's no way they're going to force him off the show. The only thing is it possible that he would want to go do something else? I know he has the 3-year contract, and that's why I thought, Chris, it was a little bit ludicrous for them to even talk about Daryl. And it was almost from the perspective that the show could be afraid of giving too much power to 1 or 2 actors, because they can just leverage it more and more. You get 1 million episode, and you ask for 1.2. You get 1.2, you ask for 1.5. I'm not worried about Daryl. So there are a lot of things going on. How many people are we going to lose before they have to accept Negan and accept his help? And where do you think the olive branch is going to be? Who do you think is going to be the person that's going to reach out to Negan? I just want those numbers to be a part of this. I'm going to jump back to that in 1 second because I got June Smith. What's up, June? June is like waiting for any news of a Rick Grimes movie. So June says, the preview for the premiere is eerie, the music and all. They're going to have big trouble with this group. I'm scared. Well, here's the thing that you can definitely look forward to, June. We will have therapy. We didn't need the therapy last year. Were there any episodes where, we always talk about we'll get together afterwards and we'll do the reaction videos. And when's the last time we actually did a therapy video where everybody was kind of down? I don't know. I think last season was pretty much, we were so excited that Rick didn't get the exit. Yeah, Carl's death was probably the last thing that we did. Yeah, the Rick episode wasn't even really therapy. We were just all super hyped that, wow, there's going to be a movie. He's alive. He made it. Yeah, it was probably Carl. It's been a while. Lee George says, kills every day with you is therapy. Lee, I think that's a good comment. You could have, at least you didn't put kills after every day with you. I need therapy. So, thank you so much. South Georgia bro, you sound different, dude. You okay? South Georgia, I'm doing okay. I'm getting there. Getting a little bit healthier and just kind of repairing from last week. But yeah, it was a rough week. From a strictly illness standpoint, I am, whether it was a cold or whatever it was, I think it was like a cold, and then just went through a whole lot of personal stuff, and then the cold just kind of came back, where normally, you guys know me. You guys have known me for like 3 years. I rarely get sick. So, yeah, this was definitely an exception. All right. So no worries about Daryl. So we know Daryl's got a contract. We know Carol's got a contract. So I'm going to ask you this question. And once again, I want you to think with your head, not with your heart, because I know what your heart's going to say. Are you worried about Michonne? I am very worried about Michonne. William Finney says nope. Gamma says no. Yeah. I'm worried. I'm worried because she's such a good movie star. If Michonne were to leave or something were to happen with Michonne, is that the last feather in the cap that we need for Negan? Is Negan potentially killing Alpha going to get most of the redemption? And then if Michonne were to leave the show in some capacity and Negan were to, hey, Negan likes kids. Got a super chat up here. We got Kimberly M. Kimberly says, worried her career outside of Walking Dead is on fire. Kimberly, that is what worries me as well. So let's put on our writing caps for a second. Let's be writers of The Walking Dead. I mean, I think they did a pretty admirable job with Andrew Lincoln. But this isn't just about what I think. So let me ask you what you think. How do you think the writers did with Andy? I mean, it was a nice breath of fresh air to keep him alive, but how do you think, with their backs against the wall and the most popular character, the star of the show, how would you evaluate that? Julie says, based on what they had, I think they did good. Some people saying they did great. Case said, I love the Andy exit. The reason I bring this up is because, I mean, you guys have been here for 3 years. We've been doing this. The amount of people who said that they would stop watching the show if Andy wasn't on the show anymore was just unbelievable. It was high. And now some of those same people are looking forward to the next chapter in the Whispers. So, look, I know there's always that leverage and there's always that threat. And most people that say they're going to do something, they don't do it. They change their mind. But I think based on the cards they were dealt, they did an incredible job. So let's transition that and say that Michonne comes to them and says, you know what, I've been in this role for a long time. I'm ready to move on. Before the writers are put in that situation, let me ask you, how do you transition the story? How would you exit Michonne, and would you take the Judith RJ characters away, or would you build more power in those characters and also simultaneously give Negan that group that he needs to protect, to keep him grounded? June says she goes to look for Rick with Judith. So you wouldn't kind of keep the, badass Judy thing rolling. Viola says the same, on a boat looking for Rick. Ooh, I guess if you think about it that way, Krampus, Michonne dying before seeing Rick again would be heartbreaking. All right. I got to ask the group, is there any possibility anybody here would accept a Michonne relationship Is it okay for Michonne to ever move on? Interesting. Interesting question. This group is totally split right down the middle. You guys are split. I'm not saying it's not her right. What I'm saying is, would it tarnish as fans our view of her and Rick's relationship? Casey says she doesn't have it in her. I don't think the character needs to. I think Michonne's character is fine being strong, independent, and alone. And Anna, you're right. She thinks he's dead. And I don't think that's what that Sadiq thing is all about. I mean, I think it could go the comic route. The Sadiq. I think it's much more likely Sadiq and Rosita. And if Rosita is pregnant, and if Rosita gets piked, oh my goodness. Because you know what everybody's going to say. You can't kill a pregnant woman on television. You can't kill a kid on television. I mean, it's very sensitive. It's a very sensitive topic. But it's a TV show. Joe Fulford. What is the image on Michonne's back? I can't figure that out. Joe, we don't know. I mean, that's the only thing we can say at this point is so much speculation, torture, tribute, another group. I'm sure we'll get the spoiler news a little bit early. Maybe I'm still in denial. I don't think it's a big deal, but I'm sure I'm going to be backtracking on that one. Yeah, RJ, when Negan made the comment to Father Gabriel, about he's heard some things, it kind of made me stop and pause. I'm just checking out a couple comments here. One conscious, Michonne, I don't think so. I don't think. But one conscious says she might get the pike. It would be shocking, that's for sure. June Smith, super chatting. June says, kills prior to the movie. Do you think somewhere in this last season they will get some kind of inkling that Rick is alive? I'm just kind of mentally going through it. Yes, I do. Yes. But here's the way I see it going down. And I'm not totally stealing this idea because I know many of you have said it, but it does make a little bit of sense. I don't think that we'll hear that anything from Rick at all. But I do think that they'll pick up another group on the radio, maybe even Jadis, And it won't be a direct like, hey, let's go out and look for Rick. I think it might be a reminder that there's some other people out there. I think they're going to touch on the fact that there's something else, and they have the ability to communicate, but not that it is specifically Rick. That's the way I would see it go down. Now, season 10, season 11, you never know. So they could certainly have a little bit of hope and then hear him on a radio a couple years from now. But I think it's going to be something with the radio, something with another group, something, and then they're going to get completely distracted by the whispers. And by distracted, I mean wrecked, annihilated. Yeah, all of those things. So it's almost going to be a story in my mind. It's like a teaser or like an Easter egg. And then you got this other stuff's going to keep us glued. And then, maybe in the season finale, you hear somebody coming over the radio. Or the season finale could be the Pike scene. Or the season finale could be Negan getting into their camp. Could tease something with Maggie as well. So, Mystics brings up the point about the border scene, because that's what some people are saying. I'm trying to think this through. Well, before I give my opinion on it, let me ask your opinion. Episode 16. How do you think the show is going to leave us? As I said before, cliffhangers are good because we just got a ton of stuff to speculate over the off season, and we have a lot of fun doing that. But I think The Walking Dead, to a certain extent, tries to, if it's too dark, they feel like people are going to be emotionally bothered by it for a long period of time, which we're not. I'm okay with it. I mean, the show's always going to come back on, whether it's a cliffhanger or whether a major character leaves at the end. I think sometimes they overdo it. They baby us a little bit. And they feel like, okay, let's just make it dark, but give them a little bit of hope. So, do you guys see Alpha having complete control over the group and just kind of like a slaughter in 16, and then we're just so worried from April until October that we can't get it out of our minds? Or do you think that there will be a little bit of slaughter maybe in the beginning, and they'll kind of end it on a positive note, and by positive note, I mean Negan. I mean, I don't know there's another character that we're going to rally around. Well, Steph, would they waste the Pikes? Because I think if they're going to do the Pikes, and especially if it's going to be a major character, I don't think they're going to focus on it for a long, long period of time. But I do think that they're going to make it a little bit gory. Like, I just don't see Ezekiel with some dreadlocks and it panning out a little bit, and Rosita, with cornrows and it panning out a little bit, and it's like, oh, there's Rosita and Ezekiel. I think we're going to know if it is them. I think they at least have to, they're going to kill a major character in a major way, that it can't just be like in fading. I think they got to kind of give the character their due. I feel like this Daryl, Michonne, Carol capture thing. And in the comic, I'm trying to think, because I haven't read up to this, but I researched a little bit of this scene. Alpha gives Rick kind of the tour, right? And I'm wondering, one, who will get the tour, if that'll be Daryl. And secondly, we have 8 episodes. What's Negan's story? If he escaped, and he truly does stay escaped, is he going to come back? Is he going to have this attachment to Judith? Is he going to see what happens at the fair? How does Negan get worked back into this story? I mean, I don't want it to be Fear the Walking Dead convenient. Well, here's part of it. Right, Dark Stark? He's like, I don't know. Kills. So here we go. I'm going to tell you a little bit of what happened over the last 7 years. And I'm going to start with a question. Does Negan want to die? He's free. He could definitely finish the job. See, we're going to funnel this down a little bit. You guys will see where I'm going with this in 1 second. Coma Drug says not anymore. Not anymore. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. So while Negan was in jail, what did he look forward to the most? It happened with Michonne, and it happened with Judith. I see where you're at, Julia. There you go. Human contact. Talking to people. Right, Bryn? Talking to people. The interaction. So all the signs are pointing to the fact Negan does not want to die. Negan needs that conversation. He liked talking to Judith. He liked talking to Father G. He needs that. Right now he's by himself, so he's not getting that. So to think that Negan wants to go away somewhere, wants to be by himself, wants to be free is an incorrect assessment. Negan has to help, or he's got to get himself back in the fray. He has no power. He has no people following him, and he has no communication. Everything's going to bring him back. I got a super chat. I want to jump over this really quickly. We got Sheila Mack. What's up, Sheila? Thank you so much. Do you think they are ending The Walking Dead soon? No. Sheila, I think we got 10 more years. So my question to each and every one of you, if The Walking Dead is on, and Fear the Walking Dead, some combination of The Walking Dead is on for 10 more years, how many people are going to be in this army, in here, talking, hyping it up? I think the franchise, they said they could do 10 more. If they put out a product, how many people are going to be here with us? All right. There's the answer to your question. If they have viewers and they have people to talk about it, and we watch their commercials, the show goes on. And Gamma, I'm hoping they do something different with your core group. I hope they keep the Whispers around for a few seasons. I hope they don't extinguish all of them. I mean, I could see Negan taking out Alpha. But I'm also down I could see the Whispers maintaining a certain amount of power and just being out there and always being a threat. All right, a couple things I do want to throw out there to you guys. Tuesday, we will be back with our Random Things chat. I know we put that on hold for a couple of weeks, and that is going to be on the 999 Army channel I set up for each and every one of you. A couple things that I want to talk about. One, I'd love for all of you guys to subscribe over there. We need to get it over 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So we're about 660, 670, 680. More than enough. As people start coming back to The Walking Dead, they're going to see that we have that channel set up. Here's a couple things in addition to Random Things. There is a show coming on, I think it's next week, called The Passage, which looks decent. If that show is decent, we will discuss it there. Game of Thrones, we're going to discuss over there. So the reason I want that Army channel to do so well is as we're here doing Walking Dead chat, and we're on 999 Gaming doing Walking Dead chat, I really want that to be an area where we can go over. It's going to be more of a niche. So if The Passage is good and we're watching it, we're going to go over there and talk about it. Game of Thrones, obviously, we're going to talk about it. So I want to have that as an outlet for each and every one of you. As we'll do polls, we'll do surveys, but we may not always have 2,000 people. We may have a couple hundred people. We may have 30, 40 people. But if it's something that you guys are interested in, then we want to do it. So just want to let you guys know that. Comic book readings will be coming back next week. I'm not quite as nasally as I was last week and the week before. So I'm almost ready to get some more posting. That'll be on 999 Gaming. So maybe as early as tomorrow, but next couple days, stay tuned on the 999 Gaming channel. We're going to get our comic book reads up there. And you just got so many possibilities, so many things that we can do. I know some people are watching Gotham, but it's got to be a show that we get a very, very good following with. Blacklist was something that I watched a while back, but that was some of our viewers were interested, some weren't. But if it's something that we can get together and talk about, then we're going to definitely throw it up there. So the last topic that I want to throw in there with the Whispers, as we said, I think the Walking Dead franchise has 10 more years. I know some people are saying there's no way that show will be on, but there's spinoffs, there's movies, there's new stuff that they can do. It doesn't all have to be recycled, and there's things that they can do longer. Like if they have this Whisper situation, I'm not just going to say the war, but I feel like the Whispers can last through the end of season 10 and have some other stories rolling at the same time, maybe even into 11. And Fear the Walking Dead really looks like they've got a core group that they're happy with. And if we watch it, they're going to be there. Back to the Whispers. And why I started the stream and said that Negan must kill Alpha is it is his redemption. The comic book fans know that's the way it goes down. I don't know who Negan would want to impress at that point. But also, I see Magna and her group as a good group. I don't see them as a group that is formidable, that can take down Alpha. And I think Negan's course has to come full circle, and he has to end this threat. And I just don't think they're going to give anyone else that opportunity. And that's why I put it as a must. However, it might take Daryl and Negan working together. As scary as the Whispers are, they have one fatal flaw. So while I'm reading the super chat, I'm going to ask each and every one of you, what are the Whispers' biggest flaw? And we got Wilson. Wilson with super chat says, Wilson, could there be another spinoff series, Kills? Wilson, I don't think so. But I think that the movies will keep enough interest in both of these spinoffs. I don't think they need to do something completely different. Because, as we stated, I don't think the movies are going to make the box office. I'd love to see one. But the movies will entice people to watch and then kind of pique your interest to get back and watch the show. Joe says that's a question too early to ask. I'm going to give you a major flaw with the Whispers. I haven't seen anybody type it yet, but it is the most obvious. Before I get into that, June Smith says a 999 Army meet and greet. Let's do it. June, hold tight until, let's get to the summer. I'll leave it at that. All right. We've been around. A lot of people are there. The biggest problem I see with the Whispers are the same thing that makes them blend. I think the masks are a problem. Think about how obvious that is. And I know there's times they take their mask off. But if you really want to kind of get in a little bit, put on one of their masks, walk among them a little bit, and you'll learn. I think we've already seen that with Daryl or with Negan or whoever else that is. And the spoiler that we heard out there was that Daryl does take a walker suit, take a mask. But when their guard is not down and they're out there, out and about, and Gamma, here's the thing, and we know that from the comics, but we don't know how that plot could potentially change a little bit. But I do think that's going to be the way in the door. Maybe somebody leaves their mask on a little bit longer. And, a lot of people said confident, cocky, all of those things. Well, yeah, when you've got a system and the system works and you have it run into a group that's big enough to take you down, you don't worry about a few people probably putting on some masks. You just kind of kill whoever you want and walk over whoever you want and do all of those things. Now, believe it or not, why everybody's worried about the Whispers being a threat, I think within a few episodes, some of the Whispers are going to start to worry about the Kingdom, the Hilltop, Alexandria being a little bit of a threat. Got a super chat up here. We've got William Finney says Negan will end the Whispers and join the group, saving Daryl and Carol. And that is where I'm going to get into the final topic of today. I'm going to throw this out there because I want the Army. I need you guys in full force. First of all, before we get this last question, everybody do me a favor. Pike that like button. Let's get this thing up over 100 likes. Come on. Come on, team. What are you guys waiting on? All right. Without the following, without a ton of people walking around and a ton of walkers, who do you fear more? Alpha and her cruelty, or Negan when he has something to fight for? Who would be a worse opponent? And if you want to use the comic as a reference, you certainly can. Comic spoiler incoming. If you guys don't know this, turn away. If you don't want to hear, I am going to read it at some point for you. But I'm going to give you, you should know it. It's only been talked about 1,000,000 times. I haven't read that far and I know it. So comic spoiler coming in 3, 2, 1. Negan cut Alpha's head off. Holds it up and says, wait till Rick gets a look at this, and I'm paraphrasing. Maybe that's exactly what he said. But Negan fighting for something. Negan is cruel. Negan is starting to get it. But it does kind of show you that, one, I guess the moral of the story is people can change. And then the second is that hope prevails over evil at some point, right? I mean, is that what maybe that's what they're going toward? That there's a little bit of evil in everybody, but yet Negan can channel that and use it at the right time? Just something to think about. Now, doesn't have to play out like that. I don't think, here's the only caveat. If Alpha is to die, and I know many people are saying she has to die, it's the way it goes in the comic. It doesn't mean that that's going to happen that way. It should happen that way. It could happen that way. But what if there's a grand escape? What if there's a retreat? What if the Whisperers realize that, hey, Negan and a few other people, let's back off and we'll show up at another time? And they're always out there kind of lurking and rebuilding and finding their own way. If Alpha were to die, I think it needs to be Negan. If not, then Negan kills Beta. And the last question of the night, and we'll wind us down because we're hitting almost to 45 minutes. It's a little longer stream. A couple people said, I see Dave out, stick to the source material. How many people, it's the last question of the night, I promise. Well, maybe. How many people want the comic story to play out? And how many people want something different? Want a little bit of a surprise? Want the TV show to deviate? Mix it up? Different? I'll tell you why I want it to be different. Is when I read the comic, I have the ability to visualize it. And there's very little originality when it takes place. I love when the TV show is different. I love to have some of the same characters, and it's like, oh, that person's just introduced, or you see bits and pieces of it, but when it plays out exactly the same way, I don't need it. I don't need it to be exactly that way. And when they do shock us, it definitely livens up all of our streams. With that, everybody, we're going to wind this thing down. This has been our Sunday night stream. It is great to be back with each and every one of you. You guys have been extremely supportive over the last week while we were taking care of some things, and many of you know it was just a pretty tragic time. So I just want to say sincerely thanks to each and every one of you. To the Patreons that are out there that continue to support this channel even when we're not streaming. You guys are absolutely amazing. The Army continues to grow. We've grown this channel. We're growing the 999 Army channel, 999 Gaming. We're getting ready to put some new content up on that as well. The Facebook fan page is growing. What are we up to, like 840 now or so on our fan page? So unbelievable, the support. And as we get more and more content and we get closer to the show, you guys know. We're going to have some of these streams where we have 1,500, 2,000. We've had up to almost 3,000 people in some of our live streams. It gets a little bit crazy from time to time, but that's the fun. We get so many different ideas and so much inclusion here. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to all the patrons in the top left-hand corner. Thank you so much for everything. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. We will do a live stream tomorrow night at 9:30 on this channel, and then on Tuesday night we will get into random things. If you guys did not see the last stream, I've adopted 3 brand new babies. Grayson, Gabe, and Gabby are my 3 kittens. So they're phenomenal. They are just super, super high energy. And I just want to give a special shout out to the Humane Society. Incredible, incredible work that they do. And you guys, thank you so much for taking care of these little guys. Also to the sponsors in the top right-hand corner, my moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kels, doing an amazing job as always. Best moderators in the business. And also to the super chatters, we got Villar, June, Kimberly M., Joe Fulford, Sheila Mack, Wilson, June with multiple super chats, and William Finney as well. So thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate your contributions to this channel. And one more thing, you guys know it's tradition. Everybody give me a quick 999. Let me give as many shout outs I possibly can. If you're new, you need to hit that subscribe button and come here and hang out with us because we have some great chats. We have an amazing group. What a network of Walking Dead fans, and what a network of real people. And also, I think you'll like being here with the 999 Army. So I want to say what's up to Lisa Haltom, also Zach Hicks, Chris Riddle, Grayland28, Villar, Tracy Bledsoe, Bob D, Anna Demo, Gene Alexander, Kimberly G, Ramona Heath, Samantha Coombs, Julia Muse, Gamma, Sheila Beasley, June Smith, Sarah Drumheller, Dave Alford, Corey Bollmeyer, DDA Ohio, Coma Drug, Dark Stark Killer, Heart of Nixie, Joyce Andrews, Danny K, Mariah Campese, Bumblebee Brown. Who else we got? Angie Homan, thank you so much. Lee George, Terry Jones, Leanne Gash, Mitch Puddin, what's up? Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Sam B, RJ Guerrero, thank you so much. Heather Nolan, I might do double shout-outs. It's all good. Walani, I like to fish. Omicron. Got all the whispers up here. Wilson, thank you for being here. Thanks for staying up too, my man. Robin Vance, Deborah Farrell. Cammie, have a good night. Viola McGowan. If you guys are interested in supporting the 999 Gaming channel, 999 Army, there's a Patreon link down below. As always, you guys can also sign up for a Kick account on our Messenger account. Send me some messages. You get some theories, some clues. There's different times of social media. There's times that I'll get to respond to you personally. There's also times that gets a little bit busy. But shoot me a message, and I'll try to get back to you as quick as possible. Just if you have a Walking Dead idea or concept you want to talk about, then send it over, and we'll talk about it. Maybe even put it in maybe as a topic of conversation for one of our videos. Barbarella71, thank you. You have a good night as well. The Saviors 007. Sheila Mack, thank you. Hippo in the house. Maggie B, thank you. Lisa Khaleesi, BK. Awesome, awesome. Thanks, everybody. If I missed anybody in a shout-out, be here tomorrow night at 9:30, and I'll try to do better tomorrow night. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you then. Peace.